Welcome to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I'm your host, Matt Brandenberger, alongside my ailing wife. You're struggling. She has really rallied to actually even be sitting up in a chair today. Struggling with what may be COVID?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Everything's COVID.
Right, but hey, we have new music. What do you think?
I can't wait to hear it. I haven't heard it yet.
I mean, you just heard it. We introed it.
I love
so
it.
Good.
So upbeat.
So good.
Positive.
Kind of a fresh vibe.
Fresh vibe was what I was thinking.
Because we are also in a brand new place.
This is so exciting.
Yeah. If you can see behind us, if you're watching on YouTube, we are in the Spies Fieldhouse. New Ace Pickleball coming here in the next couple months. So this is going to be our new home.
You're going to hear some construction today.
You might hear some banging, some grinding.
Yeah.
Some, ain't nothing wrong with a little bang and grind. I don't know.
Oh,
sorry.
boy. Oh,
this is off to a great start.
G-rated, please.
Yeah. So how things going?
Great.
You are one busy. Not only are you not feeling well, but this is the busiest professionally that I think I've ever seen you, for sure, since you've been a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Things are starting to pick up.
Yes.
Which is great.
It's great. It's
really
super great. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I'm asking every day. I'm trying to be a good husband.
You are.
How can I help?
Do?
And
when I say things like, hire me a house cleaner, you're like,
No, I said I'll do it.
Okay.
I did say that.
Okay.
So, but no, you're doing great. Got a couple listings coming up.
Yep.
We are now sponsored by Wheeland Real Estate officially. You'll hear that. So, I mean,
awesome.
If you need any more to put on Abby's plate,
please, I will take it.
She'll take it. We'll figure it out.
I will eat it all.
Yeah, eat it all.
Isn't that like there's like a new like jive lingo these days where it's like she ate it.
She ate it.
Really?
Okay.
That's what the kids tell me.
Yeah.
I probably got it all wrong. I don't know.
Probably. We're getting old. I had an old moment this week. You want to hear it? Mm-hmm. So I was teaching, previously to taking the job here at Ace, and my assistant was a gal that recently graduated from college, 23-ish, and her name was Miss B. A lot of children confused us at first, like, is that your wife?
Because you're Mr. B.
I'm Mr. B.
And she's Miss B.
She corrected them a little too quickly. Like,
are you guys married?
Like,
no.
like kind of gagged a little. It's all right. Like, that was kind of
You're
an old
old.
moment.
It's okay.
But this was kind of the topper. We were out trick-or-treating recently here in Arlington Park, our neighborhood, and I saw a kid from Arlington and said hi. Several kids that I saw from the neighborhood that went to Croninger, that school, and Miss Berkmeyer, Miss B, is still there. And one of the kids went back to her the next day at school and said, "Hey, I saw your dad trick-or-treating." And she's like, "My dad?"
My dad.
And she's like, "Yeah, in Arlington Park, your dad who used to work with you." She's like, "That wasn't my dad."
That's amazing.
That was Mr. B. I'm like, "Oh, great, thank you." Thanks for the reminder. I did just have a birthday.
You are 45
I'm
now.
45, round me up, 50 years old basically. So yeah, but things have been good.
Yeah.
They've been busy.
Yep.
We're still finding time for pickleball, but things with Ace are obviously ramping up. You can see
we're ready
in the
to
background,
play.
there's painters as we speak, painting the beautiful lines on the wall.
I'm ready to get here and play here, so.
Absolutely. All right, so we got a few things that we're going to cover today.
Yeah. I'm going to say something hard.
Do you want to start with that?
I do. I'm just going to lead.
Okay, man. People might turn it off after this.
They might.
We kind of fall a little bit on different sides of this, and I'm going to tie it in a little bit with Ace Pickleball coming to town.
You can push back.
Oh, I will push back, and especially if you're not feeling well and you might be a little grumpy. I don't know. This is something that's been weighing on you for a little while now.
It is. It's been weighing on me for about 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Since I started playing pickleball.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Fire away.
Are you ready? I'm going to try to say this gently.
Okay.
If I asked you to play with me, if I text you to play with me, don't ask me who else is coming.
Wow. How many people did you just offend?
Every single person.
Yeah. Who's ever asked you that?
But here's my thing.
Okay.
Like, first of all, when I first started playing, I actually kind of understood. Because, you know, new to pickleball, who's all going to be there? I get it. Like, I do get it. But then now, 3 years later, we have our people. Like, whether high or low, it doesn't matter. I'm not even saying, like, level of people, but we all kind of have the same crowd. So you should probably know who I'm asking. Because I didn't go to the DeKalb County Y and get a bunch of phone numbers and ask random people in Auburn. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know probably who I've asked.
So you feel like it's a little bit of a lack of trust. Like, trust me. If I'm texting you, then
and what does it matter? Honestly, what does it matter to you? If it's not worth you playing, then don't play. Just say no.
Okay.
Okay. Also, number 2.
Oh, okay.
My job is on my phone. I spend my life on my phone scheduling things for the children. That's really loud. Scheduling things for the children. My face is in my phone too much anyway. Do I then, to every person I ask to play, then have to list out every other person that's playing? Really, it is just a time thing. Do you want to play Wednesday at 2? Yes or no? I don't have time to list all the people that I've asked. Well, I've asked so-and-so and so-and-so. He and she can.
Okay.
There you go.
Ready for my pushback?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I guess it's funny to me a little bit because I feel like it's I don't know, I guess I can see both sides, that it's a little snobbish, like you should just trust me. But you're kind of almost accusing those people of being like snobby, like I'm only going to play with certain people.
Right. It's not me.
But I'm always going to like try to see their perspective. Some people might ask that because maybe there's some awkward social interactions. You know, not everybody gets along with each other.
That's not on me.
Because you get along with everybody.
That's your problem.
Because everybody. So I can see from some people's perspective, and also like we talk about a lot as well, if you only have a certain amount of time to play, there are going to be times when, you know, depending on the group, you know, maybe I only have a couple hours this week and I can't get away and play. I don't want to play in a certain group. Maybe it's a group that is too high for me, or maybe it's a group that's too low for me. So I'm just trying to give some grace.
I appreciate that. Still, I disagree.
Okay.
I feel like if somebody's asked me to play, I just think, do I want to play or no?
Right.
And if I don't, I say no. It doesn't matter who they're playing with.
Makes sense. I can see that. So, if for whatever reason Abby asks you to play, the answer is simply a yes or a no.
Thank you.
Now you know. The more you know.
That will help me be a better mom.
Right.
A more attentive mom to my children, because we are the planners.
Yeah.
We plan a lot of pickleball, and I know what segue you're going into.
Yeah.
But we plan a lot of pickleball, and sometimes I will spend an entire morning trying to get play together, and if I have to add listing people to this, what I have to do, it's just a little
overwhelming for you. It also shows where you're at, like you said, in your stage of life with how busy you are.
Right.
That when you're 75, you're
maybe
retired,
I'll answer.
And you're still,
right.
Then you'd be happy to list each of those people.
I would be happy to do that.
I think if I have some time this week, I'm going to make one of those little, like, the more you know, star flying graphics.
That's a great idea.
With you doing it, and we'll post it.
That's a great idea.
I think it'd be interesting to see the feedback.
So should I say
It'll
it
just
again?
Be your face, you know, saying, or maybe I'll take the clip
take the clip.
from this.
I love that.
And then I will put that graphic
We should make it a GIF.
And we'll make it a GIF, yeah.
That's a great
And then you can just
Send
reply
it to
with
people.
that every time. The more you know.
So
okay.
excited.
I will work on that for you. That'll be my gift since you're working so hard.
My birthday's coming up.
It is. I mean, I'll try to get it out before your birthday. But if I can count that as your birthday gift,
you
that's
can.
Even better. Okay. But yeah, just to segue that just a little bit into Ace, and it's just kind of been something I've been thinking about a lot, is just the changing demographic, or maybe that's not the right word, but I think there's just going to be a change of culture with pickleball in general. And people keep asking about like reserving court time and how that's going to work, because we're just so used to a system right now in Fort Wayne. The way it works is that you reserve a court, you get a group of people, or you have a permanent time that you have each and every week. Well, the Ace model just isn't that, quite frankly.
It's going to be a transition, I think, for a lot of people. It'll be hard to get used to, but I think it'll be easy, like an easy transition. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think most people will like it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I think the people who are going to struggle with it are the more snobby people, like myself, who want to play with their boys and their group, and they have that core.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a much more inclusive atmosphere.
Yeah, and
where
I love that.
There's advanced courts, and there's going to be a ladder system. You know, there'll be different programs and events that we have going on. But I think it's good. Like
I think it's going to be
hear
amazing.
me. I'm kind of pushing back against myself, saying it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, and there will be times for reserved court time. Like, we'll figure that piece out as well.
Right.
But
because anytime you're playing with anybody, you can work on something. You cannot convince me. I mean, I love to go to General Open Play in McMillan and work on something, like whether it's your split step.
Absolutely.
Or your two-handed backhand.
You can really concentrate on some of those things that are really your struggles that you wouldn't otherwise. So there's that. And it'll just be an opportunity for, you know, I'm hearing more and more about people that are like, well, I'd love to play in your group, or
exactly. You know, and we need more people in our group or whatever that is.
The best way to get better is to see and to play with other good players, to kind of push yourself. And recently, we have a Ace location that will be opening up in Solon, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. And so kind of two parts to that. One is I got to see, again, how different little subcultures of pickleball around do things. You know, they had some like 4 on, 4 off. They had some where it was like winter stay, but then they split, and kind of different areas even around the Solon community kind of did that as well. But there was definitely more of a culture of just kind of everybody mixing in and playing. Yeah. And I think part of that's amount of courts. If you don't have a ton of courts, you know, I can set up a guy's game and go to, you know, Jury Park or somewhere, and there's an empty court. Well, you can't go there if it's packed, and most of the courts that they have in Solon right now are packed, and there's no way to just set up an exclusive game. So that was interesting to see. The one other thing that I'll say, not as a knock on Solon, and I might have been in just some different parts, but kind of to say Fort Wayne, we have a really strong group of pickleball players. Like, even when you go to just general play out at one of the area locations, and that speaks to good pickleball breeds good pickleball. Yeah. And if you kind of play the right way or learn to play the right way, it's going to bring up the lower players, and it's going to push the higher players. So looking forward to, I think Ace is going to make pickleball in this area, which is already very strong, even stronger. Yeah,
I think people know Fort Wayne is a pretty good area of pickleball players. But I was going to say too, like, sometimes when you play with somebody who is a lower level, if you will, they still have strengths that you don't face very much. So like, for example, I played probably, you know, some solid 3-5 and 4-0s, but they had really good drives, like really good drives. And I thought, you know, I don't see, because typically they should be driving less, really, in reality. But the amount of times they surprised me with the drive, I was like, dang, I need to be ready for that. So it's, I mean, it's good to play all the levels. And
that's the one I was going to say, that expect the unexpected when
it's
you play
very unexpected
with some of those lower players. It's
like, but it's good.
It teaches you to expect the unexpected shot. It's like you kind of get used to like this almost the dance of pickleball and the dink game, and you know, nobody's speeding it up until it's the right time to speed it up. But you play with some lower people who are speeding it up anytime they feel like it. And you better be ready.
You better be ready, because they will nail you. I mean, it's good.
All right, good stuff. Let's take a break, but overall, for the first segment, we learned, do not ask Abby who is playing. Just say yes. Yes is best.
Yes is best, because then I don't have to keep texting people.
Right. that would be even better. But please don't ask her who else is playing. For my sake.
You know what? Everybody is going to.
Yeah, I'm trying. And now everybody. Yes, actually, just do that. Everybody just ask her. From now on, no matter what, even if you're going to play, just say, well, who else is playing? Then we'll know you listen to our pod. So we appreciate it. All right, quick break. We will be right back.
Parents, your teen driver or soon-to-be driver looks to you for guidance on safe driving techniques.
Drive Alive is an organization dedicated to young driver safety. Visit our website at drivealiveindiana.org to view videos designed to facilitate conversations between parents and their teen drivers.
Topics include getting to know your vehicle, understanding car insurance, simple car maintenance, and what to do if you just had an accident.
Visit drivealiveindiana.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. We are at our brand new Ace Pickleball Studio. Can we call this a studio?
Yeah, we're going to record here from now on.
Absolutely. So we love it. It'll be fun to see the progress over the next few pods we have.
Yeah, so watch on YouTube if you want to see.
Absolutely, if you're not already. So second part, I found like maybe my new favorite podcast other than ours. 4-0 to Pro. You've listened to it several times.
Yep, that's a good
it's
one.
With Michael O'Neill and Scott Fliegelman. Scott's like a high-level senior pro. And they do a really good job of breaking things down. And I can't say that I've listened to a ton of episodes, but one of their most recent episodes was on to drive or not to drive. I think they titled it, That Is the Question. And this is something that I've just really been thinking about, and I really harp on so much with my partners as well. Probably drive some of them nuts because I am.
What do you mean?
Because I am so anti-driving. I think more
but
with
you
my.
drive it so
I do,
much.
but I'm. I have become more aware
Hold
of
on,
this.
let's talk about the time when you're like,
know,
all right,
I know.
we're going to be extremely patient. I'm dropping to 4, and then you drive it into the net, and I was like.
Because
that really felt extremely patient.
It's sometimes they're just so juicy, but it is so dumb. Like it's so
dumb.
It's the epitome of like I know what I need to do, but I can't do it. I can't get my body to do it sometimes.
There's like a Bible verse about that.
There is. Yeah, I think Paul talks about that.
Paul said it.
Yeah. Anyways, I am like to the point now where I have this like idea in my head of, I call it like I like to write things on my paddle.
You do.
And so I wrote down D93. I don't know, just because D and 3 rhymed.
You're all about rhyming also.
I don't know why I picked 93, but basically the idea is 93% of the time, like maybe 1 out of 15 times, I will not drive, but I should be drop 93% of the time. And
is that like a guy thing?
Like that they want to drive?
Yeah.
I see you drive plenty of stupid times too.
I hardly ever drive a third.
My goodness.
Hardly ever. I think I drove a third 1 time this morning.
Agree to disagree. I need to pull out some video and show some evidence.
Please
I think we all drive more than we intend to. And it's also about, and that's kind of what I want to get into, is what should a drive look like? Because there is a time to drive.
There is.
100%. So Michael O'Neill, Scott Fliegelman were talking on their podcast about this idea, and we talk about this a lot, of finding the feet. Like always find the feet. That's really what it comes down to. But what I liked was they were talking about whatever trajectory the ball comes back at you on the return to match that.
Oh, interesting.
And I know we've talked about this some, especially with some of our ex-tennis friends who just love to drive their returns. They don't hit that traditional lofted return that gives you more time to get up to the line, so they drive one back. So his whole idea was, instead of like kind of trying to read how far people are back in the court, just match what they do. If they drive it back to you, then you drive that third.
And that takes some maybe overthinking out of it as well.
Yes, and that's kind of what they talked about. Give me an A-B choice.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a flat shot, I'm just basically trying to mirror what they do with my third.
Yeah, and then are you hitting it back to the person who returned it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you should be for the most part. Now, you know, we work hard when we are in that position of trying to poach that, right? So you need to kind of be wary of that. But yeah, you're trying. That's the person who's in transition. The other person's already up at the net. So yes, you're trying to either drop to them. I'll get into kind of positioning here in a second. So I thought that was really good. I like that idea of matching
the trajectory. Okay, that's a good thing to note.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing, again, to just keep it simple instead of like overthinking it.
Yeah.
Like just think, how did they hit this? Did they hit a flat shot? Then I'm going to hit a flat shot. Okay. So that's one thing that I took away from their pod. Another thing that I liked is pre-serve. Really think about setting yourself up to be in a good position.
Okay.
You really should be able to hit a third shot with your preferred, either it's backhand. Some people prefer their backhand for a third, very few. They talked about, a couple pros that do. But I would say most people are going to prefer their forehand. And this is something, sounds so simple, but I often find myself, especially when we're stacking and I'm on the right side, I don't get over far enough and I end up hitting a backhand third, which I don't hate my backhand thirds. I sometimes can hit a pretty nice cross-court slice, but my preferred is my forehand. So I need to get in a better position, stay back so that my momentum's coming forward, and use my forehand a little bit more. So I thought that was a good point as well. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I like though what we've been doing, where I take as many thirds as I can, like when you and I are playing together, and so it actually kind of makes me feel.
And why do we do that? Explain why.
Well, since we stack and I'm on the right, I take a lot of thirds that I can, so that you can anticipate like a poach or some sort of aggressive, so you can move your way in quicker. But it was funny because even today I noticed I was doing that with more people. I'm on the right and I'm taking the third. And I wondered if
like your backhand,
which is my backhand, it's their forehand. I wondered if it frustrated people, but it wasn't intentional. It was just like I was kind of in that habit. But.
Kind of in that, yeah. The other thing they talked about, just in terms of the drive, we hear drive and we think about like just a
wailing
wailing on the ball. Even when you drive, they kind of called it like a new school drop is what they were calling it. And it's funny because I know we've talked about with some of our friends like 60%. And that's really the exact percentage they use.
I should be a pro.
It's like 60% top spin, and really it's more about trajectory. You're just trying to keep it flat, just over the net, so it's not attackable. And you're trying to get it down to their feet. So again, somebody is back and they hit either a short return. We're not trying to smoke that ball.
No.
But we can put a little top spin on it, move in and try to just get it down to their feet. And even if you can't hit top spin, just try to really hit a flat shot, but take a lot of pace off of it.
60%.
And just get it down to their feet.
I almost feel like every shot should be like 60%. Not every shot, I don't mean that, but 90% of shots should be 60% because you're going to have better placement, better control, and probably better top spin.
Pickleball, except for like the highest level, really is more of a finesse and a touch game. And if you have finesse and touch and can move the ball around, you're going to win a lot more points that way. So I like that idea of the new school drop again is just a flatter shot. And I hit that shot actually a lot, even on my quote unquote drop, as I kind of like the flatter shot as well. So.
Yeah, no, that's because that's that perfect drop where it's like they don't know whether to take it out of the air, to let it bounce. It's just aggressive enough, where I feel like people decide to take it out of the air and then hit it in the net.
Yep, for sure. Couple more things. One, the cross-court drop really should be kind of the default.
Yeah.
And he kind of used the term like use geometry as your friend. And it's a little longer, yes, but there's then more room, more space to lessen your mistakes. So if you're on the right and you're returning, don't return straight ahead of you at an angle. My fear though, as the person on the right side, is my drop is that's typically my opponent's cross court's forehand. So I do get a little bit so I do try to drop it more at their bodies. Sure. And I don't think that necessarily has to be like all the way across, but you're not going straight ahead of you. Put an angle on it to give you, the more of an angle it is, the more advantageous it is for kind of having that extra space between the net and the kitchen line. But just thinking about angles more, I think a lot of times I like on the left side to definitely do that angle, but I don't think about it so much when I'm on the right side. And then just the whole idea of percentage pickleball they kind of talked about at the end. And I love thinking about this. When you're the serving team, your job is to get the point neutralized. You're already at a disadvantage because one of their people is at the line. The other one, if they hit a decent return, is going to be up there, and you're trying to struggle to get in, right? So if you can get to a neutralized point, he was kind of using that analogy again. Yeah, if you hit a drive and blow it by them, you might win that point right there. But play percentage pickleball. Get the ball down to their feet, even if it doesn't create a winner that time. If you, as the serving team, can get to the line and now you're in the dink game, you now have a 50-50 chance of winning it. And if you're not winning 50% of those, then work on your dink game.
Yeah.
But getting there is the goal.
Right.
It's not trying to win that point. Like, hit less winners, hit more setup shots.
Right. I actually had a perfect example today where I was on the left, my partner was on the right. We're both mid-court, and he or she, I'm not going to tell you who it was, he or she
could have been me.
It could have been you. Hits a great drive cross court to the opponent in front of me, his forehand, and I'm middle of the court because we're working our way up, but I'm like in the middle of the box because they sent my partner out wide to the right. Does that make sense? He drives it cross court to his forehand and he just nails me down my line.
Right.
And I just thought, that was a picture perfect lesson of if he would have dropped it, I would have had more time to adjust.
Right.
I would have then known where that was going. I could have then guarded my line. So get it, like, as my partner, like, get me to the line.
I think that's why I'm so, and I know you kind of laugh because you think I drive more than I should, but I think that's why philosophically, I'm not saying I'm doing this in action, I'm so anti-driving.
Right.
Is like, there's the mistakes that are made in driving where they go into the net or they go flying out. But even a good drive.
It was a good drive.
You're giving your opponents pace that they can then use against you and use against your partner more often than not.
Right. So, like, you knowing your partner, obviously if your partner likes pace, have at it, whatever. But knowing your partner, like, that I'm probably better at the line. Get me to the line. Like, give me a chance to get to the line.
Yeah. I don't know if I would go as far as to say this, but I'm just kind of thinking that maybe this is a radical statement, but I think I would say. I
like radical statements.
You should never drive the ball at a person that's already planted at the net. So anytime you're gonna.
That's a big statement.
I mean, it is.
Especially,
I would back off of it.
Yeah, there are times.
But if you're playing percentage pickleball,
that's not a percentage.
No. Yes, are you going to win some of those?
Right.
Yeah, but I think you're going to lose far more.
Well, it goes back to good players make great shots. Great players make good shots.
Yeah.
And it just goes back to just make the next good shot. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be great.
Yeah. But I guess I'm thinking, obviously, speed ups work. And
they do.
If the closer you are to the kitchen line. But I guess I'm thinking, if you're back at the baseline, and you're playing at a 4.5 plus level, even a 4.0 plus level, how often does a drive from the baseline eat somebody up who's just standing at the net?
Rarely.
Rarely.
You get it punched right back at your partner
far
or your
more
own
time.
feet.
Yeah. So I guess that's where I'm saying you should never do that. A drive is okay if you have somebody who's back, but you better get it to them because if you're hitting to somebody who's at the line, I think your percentage just tanked.
Yeah, but the other side of that coin, though, is when you drive it at somebody at the net, that could be a pop-up where you're going to shake and bake that. So,
it could be. There's time for that.
There are times for that.
And I think the other side also says, well, I'm trying to drive to neutralize them a little bit and then hit a better fifth shot and drop.
Yeah, and that's okay, too.
And that can be, too. Yeah. But I would say give them less pace then.
Right.
Hit it at the 60%.
60%.
Try to keep it low and don't give them the,
because the harder you give it to them, the harder they're going to get it back.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about with people like me who pace is not my skill set.
Yeah.
Newsflash, guys, pace is not my skill set.
Yeah.
Like, I need all the
You've
pace.
gotten way better at that.
I've gotten better at it, right. But I would rather take all the pace away and then dink.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like we covered a lot.
Yeah.
Some strategy stuff that I've really been thinking about. Again, shout out to the 4.0 to Pro podcast. Check those guys out. They have a lot of good stuff. I'm gonna kind of go back through their archives and listen to a lot more. But let's end with something we love. What do you love?
I am really excited about this being here at Ace.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. They've done a lot of work. The fences are up. Court install starts next week. So it's quite a process.
It's gonna be
7
great.
layers. It's beautiful.
So you'll see the progress if you follow along. Share our podcast with other people so they can see it in the Midwest.
Yep. What I love, we had our cuddle up and read last night.
Oh, that was
It
cute.
really sweet.
It wasn't me and you though.
No. You like to read. Cuddling up, not so much. Not your favorite. But with our 3 youngest.
That was cute.
And it was kind of like, man, our youngest now is in 2nd grade, right? She's right over there. She's sick.
She's sick today.
but like time's running out on this.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Speaking of feeling old, like
I know.
Those days used to be like, oh man, I feel like they never end. But I'm down to my last few, cut up in reeds. So it was sweet time with the 3 younger girls for sure.
Yeah, I was working. I was doing all the work.
Working hard, so I just took the girls, gave you a little
Which
break.
I appreciate.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks. Good job.
Yeah,
we
did it.
Go get to work. Hope you get feeling better.
I know. Work and then bed maybe.
Yeah. And we'll be back hopefully in a week or 2 with one more game.
There'll be big progress.
There will be. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
2 weeks, yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time.
As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Drive Alive, Indiana, Pickleball Rocks, Ace Pickleball, and Wheelan Real Estate. Reach out to Abby B for all your buying, selling, investing, and other real estate needs. In addition, a big thank you to the Ace Pickleball Studio in the world-famous Spiece Fieldhouse. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number 1 More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the love. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun tips, tricks, and other family shenanigans. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next time.